everyone, welcome back to another video. Today's video, we've already seen the title, you know what it's about. And I get asked this question quite often, and it is, how do I manage to stay lean all year round? And I just thought I will put some key points on what I do and the things that work for me in helping me to maintain or be able to stay fairly lean throughout the year. So yeah, we're just going to get straight into it. And I would always ask you, if you do enjoy this video, please do me a favor by leaving a thumbs up. And of course, make sure you subscribe for more fitness content. So before I start with the first point, one of the things I would say, this is actually very important, is I've been training for about 12 plus years. So I've had a lot of experience. I was able to get my physique to where I wanted it to be and then be able to almost maintain it throughout the year. So this is a very, very important point. So if you're starting out your fitness journey, you might need to take a different approach. If you're trying to get bigger, if you're trying to get leaner, some of these points might not work for you. And also remember, again, I have a lot of experience and I've been training for a long time. So just take that into account when you are taking in every single point that I am giving out to you. So the first point is, you probably heard a million times, diet is key. Diet is probably the most important factor, especially if you are trying to stay lean all year round. I've been training, I've mentioned this before, for such a long time that I don't track my calories and my macros. So this is something that I have chosen not to do. However, I have made sure that for years I've tracked. So if I was bulking, if I was cutting, but now I'm on a maintenance. And what that means is I am no longer trying to add some weight, or I'm not trying to get shredded. Now, I said that I don't track, but I used to track before. I now know what my meals would look like each and every single day. And the best way you could do this is by knowing what your total daily energy expenditure is. This is an easy formula you can use when calculating your macros.
If you go online, there is a lot of free resources out there to help you calculate your total daily energy expenditure, which you can then use to figure out your daily calorie needs. As I mentioned before, you want to go for your maintenance calories, as that takes into account your activity level. And this means your maintenance is what your body needs daily to function.
So my advice would be, find out what your total daily energy expenditure will be, and then you need to use that to make your meals. So use that to plan your meals for the week. Do that for, I would say, the first month. Because after that, that gives you an idea of what you need in terms of maintenance each and every single day. And then once you get to that point, you can probably freestyle it. You can probably, you don't need to track anymore. Because for me, I want to be able to live my life freely without having the need to continuously weigh my food and calculate every single point. And I would also say that you should allow yourself a bit of allowance for if you need to go out to restaurants with your friends, if you need to just live a little, right? So you don't want to track every single thing and make life complicated for yourself. The second point, of course, it will be your training, which again is a no-brainer. I train 5 to 6 times a week, and it all varies. I'm a cross lifter. Those of you that don't know what that means, I do bodybuilding, I do CrossFit, I do functional training, I do cycling, outdoor cycling, I run, and I'm learning to swim at the moment, which is very interesting. But training is very important because, of course, this is how we maintain our fitness, but also it is where we are burning calories, and we are also maintaining the hard work that we've managed to achieve. So with your training, you want to make sure that you are periodizing your training. So that just means you can add some high volume, so hypertrophy, and low volume, which is strength-based training. You want to make sure that you are attacking both sides when it comes to your training and not just focusing on one. And progressive overload is a very important factor when it comes to your training. So add in things like supersets, drop sets, and you can also do things like deficits, increase in range of motion. All these things will help you in terms of when it comes to your training to not only progress, no pun intended, or pun intended actually, progress in your training, but it also helps you if you are trying to maintain a lot of the hard work that you worked towards. So keep that in mind with your training program. One thing that I do every single day is I make sure that I get at least 10 to 15,000 steps a day. And that could include just going out for a walk, right? Or just adding a bit more cardio after my training session. Because of the way I train, that's very easy because I do conditioning and I do run and things like that. So you just want to add a little bit more, I would say just move more. You just want to add that into your training, especially if you just do bodybuilding style training. Again, go for walks. Walk to most places. If you are in London, we take the tube everywhere. Maybe get off a stop earlier. Maybe walk a bit more rather than getting the tube or getting the bus. And also get on the bike, cycle a bit more. Moving isn't exclusive to just walking. You can maybe go for a run, maybe get on the bike. You know, I cycle as well. So these things will help you. This is what helps me also to ensure that I am in that maintenance phase and making sure that I can stay fairly lean. And I also just believe that we should always move more and not just weight training in general. I just feel like it's so much better for you. So get some more movements in. This will help you burn a few more calories as well throughout your day, and just making sure that you can maintain that leanness throughout the year. So one thing that I always say now to people is finding that balance, making sure that you can still be social and making sure you can still hang with your friends and you can go out to restaurants. And there's nothing wrong if you wanted to have a drink or two here and there. I only started drinking this year, but again, I don't go crazy. It's more social, right? I go out to restaurants a lot. That is my thing. I eat a lot in general, but I love going to restaurants. I go to restaurants a lot with my friends, and I make sure that I am balancing that out. If I know I'm going out to eat at a restaurant, I make sure that maybe I don't eat so much throughout the day, and then I have enough to cover myself when I go out to eat at a restaurant. I try not to allow my health and fitness lifestyle affect too much of my social life, which is the problem I had in the past. And I think we need to find that balance, because we can be too extreme. And so just making sure, of course, you don't want to be, it's entirely up to you, but I don't go out every single day. Maybe once a day, maybe once a week or twice a week. Sure, that's fine. This is life. I want to be able to maintain this for the rest of my life. And that means being able to be flexible, being able to have that balance, so that I know that, okay, yes, I am eating pretty healthy throughout the week, but every once in a while I can enjoy myself and go to festivals with my friends, go out to restaurants with my friends, have a drink or two with my friends, and still not worry too much about putting on extra body fat and things like that. And even if you do, life is short, you can burn that off, right? So if you take into principle of your diet and your training, those two things, if you do that right, and if you make sure that you follow in that right to the T, I don't see any problem with you being able to maintain this for the rest of your life. But make sure that you are enjoying the process. If being lean year round is something you want to do, but you're finding that it's making you absolutely miserable, maybe you don't need to be at this stage, right? So make sure you enjoy it, because this is going to be very, very important in being able to maintain this every single day. I say for a year, but I would say every single day for the rest of your life. For myself, if you said to me, would you be able to maintain this? Hopefully, if I didn't have any injuries or I couldn't train, would I be able to maintain my physique and be this lean every single year for, till I'm in my 60s? I hope so. I hope I could keep training the way I do, maybe obviously less weights, and less intensity, and probably not 6 days a week. But I know I've gotten to the space where I've been able to balance my health and fitness and my social life. It's very important that you enjoy this, because if you don't, this is where we all start to fail. And it's taken me years to find that balance, and I keep going back to balance because this is very important if you want to be able to maintain this throughout the year. And is this what works for me? So every single thing that I've said in this video is, sometimes I find that videos like this sometimes aren't helpful to individuals, purely because this is what works for me. My job also allows me to train twice a day sometimes, right? So not everyone can do that. But I feel like if you can pick one or two things from myself, from other fitness influencers that you follow, and implement that into your own lifestyle, what works for you. This is the most important thing. Do what works for you, right? And this, hopefully, you'll be able to find helpful and can implement into your own health and fitness lifestyle. So yeah, that's pretty much it. If you have any questions, let me know. I've tried to simplify this as much as possible, and yeah, hopefully you can take something away from this. But yeah, just remember, your diet is probably one of the most important things. Training, again, all the things I talk about: progressive overload, periodizing your training. Make sure that you're enjoying your training, adding other things into your training to make it more enjoyable. Move more, whether it's walking, whether it's running, cycling. Balance, finding that balance of, yes, I want to be, super, super healthy and, strict, but also remembering that you need to have a life also. Very important. Don't let this whole health and fitness lifestyle take over your persona, take over your life, that you can't do things with your friends. You're not taking meals in Tupperware, to restaurants. I did that. Don't do that, please. And enjoy every single day. Even though I say every single day, you wouldn't enjoy every single day. Some days you fall off. Some days some days I trip up. Some days I don't eat right. And you know what? I don't beat myself up about it. I take it as a bad day and move on. That's going to be very important if you want to keep this lifestyle throughout the whole year, for the rest of your life. Think about it as the rest of your life, not just for the year. And that's pretty much it. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, again, please leave a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe. Peace out. Oh, done. My back just went there. Do you know what?